Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I am your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this community of ours. Today, I want to talk about isolation a little bit. And I was having dinner last night with some friends, and we were just chatting about, why I'm back in startup mode and, what that means. Being that, I've exited a bunch of businesses, their natural question was like, what are you doing? Like, why? And I tried to explain to them that I really love the startup life. But one of the things that they brought up that I thought really, resonated with me and reminded me of the early days of many of my businesses is the whole concept of isolation. And not just isolation the way you literally think about it, like being alone, but isolation in your ideas, isolation in your thoughts. And especially as you don't have a team and you're just starting to build one out, that you have to have a lot of conviction and belief in what your business is. And, whether it be in your own head or just thinking your own thoughts, or whether it be in, talking to people or trying to build out a team, like in the beginning days, it feels very isolated, almost like you're on an island and you have to be comfortable, being able to be in that environment if you're going to be successful as an entrepreneur, because in the early days, it's just you, right? Unless you have partners, unless you have a, private equity or venture capital firm that you've brought on to raise capital, like it's you. And in those early days, you have to realize that, you're going to have, your own worst enemy in that time is going to be what's happening in your mind. The second guessing that you're going to have, internally, and being able to persevere past those things is really crucial. And as I was just chatting with them, it reminded me, because I had forgotten, I think, what those early days were like, because, in this next business of mine, I don't have, venture capital or private equity dollars, I'm doing it myself. And, I'm just starting to build out a team. So I have to rally people around this idea and this concept. But at the end of the day, it's just me. And, that requires a bit of isolation and confidence that you can tell, that inner voice inside of your head that you know what you're doing. And so as I just think about all of you out there that might be first-time entrepreneurs, or you haven't done it in a while and you're getting back into it, or maybe you're just thinking about it and you want to know what kind of reality this looks like, being comfortable being alone and locking yourself in, a room, maybe not literally, but figuratively, being able to, kind of unpack your idea, being able to put process behind, the way you think things are going to go, and really starting to, internally or on paper, whiteboarding out what that business looks like is going to feel very isolated. And, in your mind, you may have this perfectly well thought out plan, but then when you start telling people about it, like they don't know what's inside of your head. And so you have to be able to tell them and explain to them what it is that you're trying to build. And I believe that getting through those first, 3, 6, 9, 12 months of a business is some of the hardest, because it's not only you don't have a business, right? You're turning something, or you're turning nothing and turning it into this thing, but the hardest person that you're going to have to keep motivated is you. And the way you're going to do that is being comfortable being alone, being comfortable being in isolation, and really, getting to a place where you feel good about what it is you're building. So really quick one today. I really just wanted to remind everyone that it's okay to be alone. Isolation is part of the process. Isolation is part of building. And you just have to remember that that voice in your head that's telling you why you started this is the one you listen to, not the one that's second guessing or naysaying, because isolation will do that to you. But be comfortable being alone. You got this. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and comment. Most importantly, share. And we'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.